Hello folks, I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update on a swap meet I went to yesterday. I had a big long list of things I was after. I came back with two of them, but I also came back with something that I didn't go to buy, and I was just a sucker for it and couldn't resist. I'm going to show you it now. And here we go folks, an example of my kryptonite. I don't go really now for completed ready to fly models of any description. I like to build them myself. However, this model was so gorgeous when I saw it, and it was an absolute steal of a price that the chap was asking for, and I still managed to get a bargain on that I just couldn't resist it. It's a Flair Bristol F2B, I believe. I've looked at these with envy for some time now, and when I saw this one, I thought, oh, goodness me, that's beautiful. One, he's going to be asking a fortune for it. Two, well, you really like to build them yourself, Mark. And three, where's it going to fit in at home? And that all went out of the window when I had a closer look, and I also discovered that he wanted next to nothing for it. So let's have a closer look. We'll start off with the business end. This cowl obviously would normally be screwed in place, but it lifts out at the moment. And it's got a nice 4-stroke engine in with the remote ignition system set up. I suspect it's got some sort of continual glow setup too. I'm wondering if that's the purpose of this battery compartment here. The exhaust neatly comes out and appears underneath. On-off switch here, obviously to the servos. This isn't connected. I thought that was actually what would be connected to the remote driver, but it isn't. On the other side, we have a fueling port here. The tank fitted in. And the engine is a 90. I think it's one of the clone OS type engines, but it's got a nice compression to it. So that's all good. I've got no doubt it'll be a runner. The actual model itself seems to be very well made. All the stitching has been added along the canvas body, and all the control surfaces are done in a scale manner. We have closed loop for the elevator and for the rudder, and you can see they go through a tiller arm here. The radio gear, I couldn't work out where it is. It appears to be underneath here. There's a hatch, so this would have to come off to access it, and of course I'll have to check everything out before I go any further. We've got the Flair pilot and a control panel. Now, I think this is an area that I could develop and make it into my own. The padding there is nicely stitched on, leather padding, but I think some nice dials with brass surrounds, and perhaps the pilot could be changed out, although in this case he actually looks scale to the model. As I say, beautifully done, and if you notice in close inspection, the rib taping has all been added on. Sort of makes me realise that for the DR1 project I'm going to have to do the same. It looks so effective. And in these two big boxes are the paired wings. Now, I'm not sure if this was part of the original design for the Flair kit, but I'll show you it rigged up. Just bear with me. Here it is fully rigged. It took about 10 minutes, which isn't bad at all. It's the very first time I've put it together. I'm not sure that the wire dowels were part of the original Flair design. I'll have to look it up. If anybody can enlighten me, I'd appreciate it. 10 minutes in total to put together, which isn't bad at all, considering it's a first tryout. There is one connecting clip missing, and these end spars need the tension and wear between them sorting out at both ends. For some reason they've gone slack, but I think it looks magnificent, and given it a little bit of weathering here and there and a few little tweaks and alterations, although it isn't my model, I'm sure I'm going to get a real thrill out of flying it. I do understand that it has some quirky characteristics. Of course, it's rudder dominated, and the ailerons need to be mixed with the rudder, either manually by your own flying skills or through the transmitter box. But that's the case with almost all the biplanes I fly, and I'm getting very used to doing that now. The markings have all been hand painted. There's no stick-on stickers here. Everything's been hand painted on it. So the chap that's made this is of my own ilk. He enjoys this sort of thing clearly, and he's done a good job of it. And here you can see the rib tapes, which really do set the model off. It means, bugger it, I've got to do that on the DR1 now. It looks so good. So a bit of titivation. Big jobs, well, I need to strip down this lower section so I can get into the radio gear. There'll need to be a receiver put in there anyway, but the servos will need to be checked out and perhaps replaced. A gunner in the back. After all, it was the first two-seater attack aircraft, I think, or one of the first. So it needs a gunner in the back, and there is a little bit of scope to improve the cockpit detail, which of course I'll do. No rush to get this in the air. It's going to wait for nicer weather, but the next job is trying to find space for it in the hangar. So beware of swap meets. There can be deadly places to attend, and it got me big time here. But never mind, I've come away with a beautiful model, a few headaches regarding storage, but a very impressive model. It's a shame that this is no longer available, and the Flair kits in general are no longer available, because this is a beast of a model. Really impressed with it. Thanks for looking in now. Beware of swap meets. Take care.